Okay.
Obviously a weird, you score 21 straight, then they come back with 17 straight. Just what happened?
Yeah, that's, I think the summary of that game for the Beavers is that there was a lot of good moments, a lot of good football. I thought that we made some good defensive stops and made some good plays, and the same thing offensively. There was a lot of good plays, some good runs, passes, pretty good night production-wise, but just way too many kind of ebbs and flows, where we didn't look good offensively for a couple series in a row, just went blank. And the same thing happened defensively. We had, when we made that stretch of scoring and taking the lead, we looked good kind of both sides of the ball, and then boom, we kind of went flat, and they came back and they made those runs, and they just made more and were more consistent than we were doing that tonight, and that feels like the story of the game to me.
That flatness, how do you explain that? Can you explain it?
Oh, it's a lot of times offensively, I think that we made some good plays. Most of our good plays were first and second down plays. We're still bad on third down. So when we went flat is when we didn't convert on third down. When we were moving the ball and having good first and second down plays and running the ball well, that's when we looked good. So third down has been bad for the Beavers this year, and I don't know if we can get it squared away, but it's going to be very important that we work hard to do that.
It was bad on the other end, too. They were 11 for 19.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, at one point, I think we were just about leading the nation or something on third down defense, and of course, we didn't do that tonight. And again, I think we made some good plays defensively and did some good stuff. We did some good stuff in the special teams, but had some rough spots there too. I think that, when you're playing tight football games and it's competitive, then the consistency factor is going to be the key to victory, and they had it better than we did.
What specifically was it about Lasco that was kind of causing you guys problems, do you think?
Well, do you remember me telling you guys that this is not just a passing team last week? And they have a very good running back. And I think that that's a good picture of what Cal wants to be right there tonight, that balance. And I saw Sonny Dykes a couple of weeks ago. We were both out recruiting at the same high school, and I asked him about that running back, that I thought he had looked real good, and he said he really had a good off season and worked real hard. So he's a good football player, all around player, receiver, and runner.
In the fourth quarter, Teron Ward had just scored a touchdown. You guys had the lead 31-27. And then on the scoreboard, they show Mannion just set the record for Pac-12 passing yards in the career. Just what was that moment like on the sidelines there? It's
pretty neat. It's quite a record. When Sean and I talked, I congratulated him, and he said, "Let's just go win this game." I thought that was a pretty neat reaction and pretty typical Sean. But, I wish we could have won the game with getting that record tonight. But that is a very unique stat that he has, and it's a unbelievable. I appreciate it a lot because I grew up in this league, I guess is the way to say it, and there's been so many great quarterbacks, so many productive players. To be there is pretty special.
Have any injury updates, Dockery?
Dockery has a sprained ankle, and we'll see what that means on Monday, probably.
What about Barnett and James?
Well, I'm hoping that we'll have both of them for next week. It's been they've missed 2 games now, and it makes us pretty thin, actually, at players that are both defensive ends. Dylan goes back and forth, and Brandon Bennett goes back and forth, but it would be better if we had more depth and those guys could just play.
How much longer till Grimble comes back?
He should be getting close, but I don't know if next week is real.
Gavin Andrews.
Gavin Andrews will start practicing maybe on Monday, limited, and my guess is because of what he did, or what they did surgery, that he would just be an outside chance for this next game.
Big picture wise, now you've lost 3 in a row, still 4 games to go. Just how do you refocus the team and just kind of what you feel moving forward?
Well, I think that's a interesting point, because it can get very discouraging. But I think now you just look at it like we've got to try to position ourselves to go to a bowl game, and so as soon as we could get 2 more wins, that would be a good thing. But we can't get them unless we get one here pretty soon. So next week is going to be a focal point. I don't think that'll be talked about too much. I think that the main thing is the pride in playing good football and getting ready to play. We made some improvements, but I think you have to look at things sometimes in smaller pictures, not necessarily like from the beginning of the season, but just from not doing much a week ago to what we did today. There was a lot of things that were better, and so I think that needs to be pointed out to our team. But again, we got to help them with the consistency factor and making those plays more often, and then I think that we'll just focus on doing that so we can win the next game.
Have you heard about Connor Halliday's injury?
Yes.
Off the run defense, or back to the run defense, Cal got more than double their average
Yeah.
yards on run. What do you think happened?
Well, I think what happened is they got such a good mixture of their balance going the night. They really kept us off balance, and so we never really appeared to get a real strong handle on being able to handle both their run and their play action passes. And I think that's what happened.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you all.